Hey, middle school small group leaders, man, I am so excited for this Sunday as we are going to be wrapping up our series called Under the Microscope, where for the past 2 weeks now, we've been looking at how does faith and science interact with each other. Should they be opposed or should they be something that can work together? And I'm really excited for this week because what we're going to be kind of diving into is the difference between knowing something and believing something, and how science is perfectly designed for us to know things, knowing things such as gravity or that 2 + 2 = 4, stuff that is inherently true and you just are 100% confident in it. And what we're going to be doing is contrasting that with belief. And the idea that I'm going to be kind of pushing forward to, and I think that I believe in it. I think it's right. And I emphasize even that. But it's going to be a little maybe touchy. Is that belief, the very idea of belief hinges on doubt. I know that gravity is true because it happens all the time. I believe that God is out there because if I'm honest with myself, there's a little part of me that doubts it. There's a little part of me that's like, yeah, but I haven't seen him. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using that kind of thought process, that kind of idea, and we're going to be walking through this really cool passage in John chapter 9 where Jesus heals a man who has been born blind. And the Pharisees are constantly asking him knowledge questions. They're like, how did this happen? How can we know? How can we be 100% certain? And he keeps retorting with belief kind of answers. He has a little bit of doubt. And then at the end of this story, he gets kicked out. Jesus shows up, and it's the first time he's laid eyes on Jesus. And he says, I want to believe. And Jesus is like, well, I'm the guy who healed you, and then he believes. And so what we're getting into is this idea that it is A, it's okay to have doubts, and B, it's okay, it's good to ask questions. Because God knows and understands that we have doubts. He doesn't call us to have perfect knowledge. But the thing that we're going to be wrapping up with is that in 1 Corinthians 13:12, Paul says, one day we will fully know. We will know God just as much as we know gravity. We know the laws of this earth that we live in. And we will be fully known. And so I'm really, really excited for this. We're going to be getting into this idea that it's okay to have questions and embrace those questions. It's good to keep growing in your faith like that. And so what I want to encourage you to this Sunday night is as you're getting ready to lead the small group before the sermon and you're kind of priming the pump with all of these middle schoolers, getting them to be thinking about this, is be thinking about your own doubts. What are things that you kind of have to stretch out and go out on a limb of belief about? And are they doubts that you've chased down, that you've thought about? Or are they doubts that you keep ruminating about and you let it kind of start deconstructing what you believe in general? Because none of us have perfect faith. None of us are 100% assured. Otherwise, we would say that we know. But we don't. We believe, we trust, we hope. And that's a good thing. So I'm really, really excited for that. I want to let you know a little bit about what's coming up down the pipe. Next week, not this coming Sunday, but the next, we'll start a brand new series with both our high schoolers and middle schoolers, and it's our 3-week-long Easter series. And we're going to be doing a little bit of interesting stuff with both groups. This first week, we're going to be having everybody together, high school and middle school both, and we're going to talk about communion. One of the last things that Jesus does with his disciples is he initiates communion for the very first time, or the Lord's Supper, Eucharist, whatever you prefer to call it. And so with that, we're actually going to have the message first, and then everybody will break into small group because the application is going to be taking communion with your small group. And so that means that you are probably going to be leading that, unless you have a student in your small group that you're like, dude, they should do it because they'd be amazing at it. Like, you're probably going to be leading that. And so as you're getting ready for that, I just want you to be kind of thinking about like what that will look like, how you're going to be running that. I'll have a lot more stuff about that in our next video next week, but I just wanted to have that on your mind so you can be considering it. So guys, all of that being said, I am so thankful to be serving alongside you. I love all of your feedback, all of your thoughts, what you are doing for these students, the way that you are investing in them and pouring your life out into them. It is so incredible to watch that happen week in and week out, as you are my absolute heroes. You are changing the lives of these middle schoolers forever. And I love getting to serve alongside you, and I cannot wait to serve with you this Sunday night.